I had mentioned this morning that I would do a video on what happens when you break your fast. And all my experiences, the last time I did the first 40, there's really not a lot of documentation. I didn't write a lot of this stuff down. When I was done with the fast, I really stopped talking about it. I was ready to have it behind me. So on day 29 today, I've been thinking an awful lot about breaking this fast. I'm excited. I've heard from many people that I look skinny and that I look like I've lost a lot of weight. I know people are dumbfounded that you can go so long, but with God, truly, you can endure anything. Anything's possible. So last time when I broke the fast, the last, I would say 6 to 7 days were absolute torture. It wasn't that I was hungry, but my body was done fasting. And so I began to hear what my body was saying to me. Now that might seem kooky or crazy to somebody, but it's really true. I can't really explain it any other way than my flesh was screaming at me. My body was trying to urge me to eat. I know as a Christian that my flesh is at enmity with God. It's at war. My flesh doesn't want to do anything except be comfortable and be pleasured. And so when you're fasting for long periods of time, it's very normal. I mean, for short periods of time, but especially during long periods of time, your body is going to moan and groan and complain. And I couldn't differentiate between real and just, I won't want to say fake, but that's the opposite of real. Real or fake news last time. Like, is my body really trying to tell me that there's an emergency, or is it just a ploy to get me to eat? I knew that I was done. I knew that my body was pretty much maxed out. Last time I did have a cognizant or a deficit in my cognitive reasoning. I did have a deficit I'm a teacher, a classroom teacher. And so I could tell in my teaching that I couldn't get things in the proper order or sequence. And the kids laughed several times. I would get words, the letters of the words, almost like dyslexia, like a temporary dyslexia. I would switch my words up, switch my letters in my words. When I was writing on the dry erase board, I would flip words and I'd hear giggles and they'd be like, "Oh, Sister Mandy, you need to fix that." And I'd look around and I didn't think that's what I wrote, but that's what I wrote. One example, we were in genetics and I went to write male and female, and I got the male right, but the female said felame, F-E-L-A-M-E. So I just got my letters mixed up. That happened for the last probably 2 weeks of the fast, and I knew that my body was reaching the end. Yesterday morning was the very first time that I felt that my body was starting to go, hey, like really loud, like, you're starving yourself, you're gonna die, that kind of urgency. But it was just a moderate urgency because I know that it's gonna get worse before it gets better. It may not. I shouldn't say it's gonna get worse. It may not this time. Every fast is so different, is a different animal. But in long fasts, it is very prevalent that people drop out of their fast, of a 40-day fast. Typically, these are people without the Holy Ghost, with no Christian-based reason for them, maybe just a health reason why they want to fast, or just to see if they can do it. They drop out at like day 36, or 37, and they quit and they can't take it. Well, I was watching these documentaries on people that fasted a long time, and I literally could not understand why someone would go 36, 37, 38 days and then eat something right 2 days before the finish line. Like, how do you do that to yourself? That's worse than going 40, in my opinion. If your goal's 40, then hit the 40. But it wasn't until I got to day 36 and day 37, day 38 that I realized the noise in my head, your kidneys are failing, you're dying, You're doing irreparable damage to your body. You're not even going to wake up tomorrow. You're dying. That was so loud, and it was so overpowering to just my regular thoughts that it was almost hard to shut out. It was hard to function. It was like I had like big steel feet, and I was just, every step was just laborious. And the last, I'd say less than a week, seemed to take a month. It was bad. And I'm hoping to avoid that this time, because our church is going to come on board, and we're all going to be fasting food that week that I am finally in my final stretches. And so I hope that unity and everybody praying for each other, and I really hope that helps, because that was pretty rough. The partner that I'm fasting with, I did explain this to her yesterday, that those voices get loud. I didn't want her to be, hit from the side. And so hopefully we are ready for it this time. I'm ready for it this time. I know that it's going to happen, and I know how to deal with it better. The last week, I'm going to have to rest more. The science fair is over after this week, and my load at school is going to go down, and hopefully I can get back some of the the clearness in my thinking, but I know that'll take a few days too. I'm right now, day 29 is getting kind of foggy. Like today, for instance, the judges for the science fair are coming. I had all their packets laid out, pins, water, like super profesh, super classy. And I only made one copy of the science fair judging form. They have 16 projects. So all 5 of my judges only had one judging sheet. So thank goodness my mom was one of my judges, and she came and saved the day and got all and the principal chipped in, and they're all helping to make me copies. I'm sitting at home like I am the biggest goob on the planet, but that's the foggy thinking. Like, it didn't even occur to me that they would need more than one report sheet. Like, never. Like, I was like so proud walking out of there like, I did it, it's classy. Yeah, no. Missed that. Brain fog. I told my mom, I said, that's day 29 brain. That's just, I'm so sorry. Thank you for saving my bacon. So everything should be okay, but going forward, I know that increases. That fog is kind of foggy. And that doesn't exactly explain what happens after the fast. Last time, after the fast, of course, you can't just dive right in. You can't go to, Ming's Chinese buffet and blow your gut out. You cannot do that. You have to incorporate food back slowly into your diet. Because this time I have been drinking one shake a day, one nutritional shake worth about 340 calories. I don't know, has protein and vitamins and minerals. I drink that shake at night, and I pour about a quarter of a pint of blueberries, frozen blueberries, and then I put 2 ginormous heaping tablespoons of powdered peanut butter into the blender, and I blend it all up, and that's kind of like my supper. And I cannot tell you how sick of those vanilla nutritional shakes I am. I'm so glad that I'm out of them. I'm not gonna buy any more. Blah. It is rough. So I've got coconut milk, blueberries, and protein, so I'll just do that. The calories it'll have to be what it is. If I was water fasting, I wouldn't get any of those calories anyway. So I'll be okay 10 final days. If I don't think I will, I'll go get some, but I really don't want to taste that stuff anymore. But this time, I think I'll make a better transition. I've been more consistent with those shakes. Every night I eat, every day I get up and go to school. Every night I drink a shake. And so with that being said, sorry, I just got an email that totally distracted me from the science fair judges. It's really throwing me for a loop. Anyway, with me doing those shakes and being consistent, I think the progression back to food will be a little bit faster than water only. And last time I just did liquids only. I don't think I drank many smoothies. And so since I've had a little bit of food in my stomach, it'll be a little bit easier. I still don't plan to do any kind of, Ming's Chinese buffet the first meal, but I think that, I don't mean to be graphic, but I stopped going number 2 a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. And when I do, it's like every 6th day. So there's not much left in there. Not much digestion going on with these shakes, but it is something. Last time I didn't go for like 3 weeks. It was wild. It was crazy. So I think this time, with having a little bit more roughage in my belly, so to speak, I think that I'll do better going back to food. What I did not expect last time was the fight my flesh put up. There's no books on it. I haven't read any documentation about it. I'm sure there's something out there. I just haven't found it, about what happens after you break a 40-day fast. There's plenty of books that tell you not to go out and eat fast food or eat heavy foods, and the way that you should reintroduce food. There's plenty of websites and stuff like that. But I haven't found a spiritual journal or anybody's experiences about what happened to me last time. And so maybe that's my calling. Maybe I should write about it. And that's why I'm documenting this, is maybe I'll do something with these. Maybe I'll write a book. Maybe I'll write a fasting manual. I don't know, something. I want to live a lifestyle of fasting. So maybe this is my path. Anyhow, I can't find anything about how the flesh acts up, and anyone else that's had these experiences. It was almost as if I hadn't eaten 40 days. That's true. I hadn't eaten in a while, and it was like my body went into super starvation mode, and all I wanted to do was eat. Makes sense. I didn't eat for 40 days, so my body is like, hello, put some grub in your pie hole. But it was more than that. It was almost like a gluttonous spirit just took over me, and I had no willpower against it. And so all the weight that I had dropped through the fast quickly came back on. And of course, the way when you lose weight, it always comes back more. And so it was very disconcerting, and it was bad because I felt like I had no willpower. I mean, I had just gone through a 40-day fast. That's called willpower extraordinaire. You're not eating for 40 days. I've told myself no over and over and over, and been on top of things, never ate, never did. And then all of a sudden, my body's in charge and it's just telling me what to do. How does that flip so fast? So I want to make sure this time that I'm aware of that. I'm aware that my flesh may get crazy, and I'm going to, I don't know if I'll have to talk to like the lady that's on the journey. I don't know if we can keep accountable up to 10 days after the fast and say, look, this is not going to happen. And see, when my flesh went absolutely crazy wasn't until 10 days. Like, I did the whole reintroduction process, start with potatoes, mashed stuff, liquids, all the way back, build to, regular meals. This was after all of that. Like, I could control all of that, but what happened was after 10 days, and I started eating normally again. Maybe not normal size portions, but I wanted to eat constantly. I wanted to eat day and night. Like, it was just an addiction, kind of. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just could not tell my body no. And it was almost just so deeply ingrained that I don't know. And I don't know how to really explain it, and I didn't document it, so I'm just going off memory. But I remember being so scared that I was gonna be 300 pounds because, well, number one, I know that's not healthy for my body. Number two, I've had a hip replacement. I don't need extra weight on either one of my hips, just in case my other hip decides to peter out. So I need to make sure that I maintain weight. Plus, who wants to be a glutton? I mean, who wants to be? My husband doesn't want a 300-pound wife. He shouldn't have to deal with someone who can't curb her appetite. And so he prefers a small. He likes it when I'm thin. He does. He thinks that is appealing to him. And just the kind of girl that likes to make him happy. So I just want to avoid that this time. And by documenting this, maybe it'll help me in some way. Maybe it'll help somebody else. Maybe I'll be able to include it in a book someday. But I just don't think there's enough said about after breaking a long fast, a 28, 21, 28, 40-day fast. There's just not enough information about spiritually what happens. And I really do think it's a spiritual issue. All of that gluttony and all of that you must eat and obeying the flesh, that is a real spiritual issue. And it's not one that I want to repeat. So I wanted to make this video to come on here. And of course, I'm going to document, you know, even after my fast is over, to kind of give somebody a measuring stick, or give myself next time a measuring stick of what exactly happens. Like, why does your body freak out? I may not do it this time. I may be perfectly normal, but you know, at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm not hit upside my head and you know, shocked at the possibility that it could happen again. So that's my video today. It's about what after you're done with your 40-day fast, what happens, and hopefully this will be helpful to somebody, maybe even to me. Till tomorrow.